We've got a very special guest this episode. Alex Hines is here to talk about debutante balls, to talk about schoolies, to talk about watching porn with your friends, all that and more in this very exciting episode of the Mish and Zach Podcast.
Mish and Zach.
Hello, it's the Mish and Zach Podcast. I'm Mish and this is Zach, and we have a guest with us today. It is the hilarious, it's one of my favourite people, friend of the pod. It's bloody Alex Hines in the building.
We also
Hello.
have a guest producer.
Yeah,
B.
we got
Hello,
B up
I'm
here.
back.
We've had B in the past. B's back. B's back, baby.
B's back, baby.
Triple B.
Triple B.
B's back. Yeah. I was like, what's the third one? B's back.
B's back, baby. B's
Always a
back.
joy.
I'm a maths girl. English is my forte.
It's one of the greatest lines in cinema history. I'm not a crazy Pulp Fiction fan. Like, I like Pulp Fiction, but it's not my favourite of his films. But in Pulp Fiction, there's the line where you know, Zed is the bad guy and Bruce Willis's girlfriend.
Whose motorcycle is this?
Is like, yeah. Zed.
Yeah.
And then she's like, and then
Yeah,
what does she
who's
say?
Zed?
Who's Zed? Did
Yeah.
she say who's Zed?
Who's
Where's
no, she goes, whose motorcycle is this? And he goes, it's a chopper, baby. She goes, whose chopper is this? And he goes, it's Zed's. And she goes, who's Zed? And he says,
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. And then he rides off.
it's brilliant.
It's the
I
greatest
can't remember it all,
line
but like that
in
was
cinema
amazing.
history.
Oh, she
You took
is
me there.
that couple in Pulp Fiction. Bruce
I gotta
Willis.
rewatch Pulp Fiction. I haven't seen
It's
Pulp Fiction
very
in so
good.
long.
It is
Yeah.
very good.
I don't remember any of
You know
it.
Pulp Fiction.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course. Bruce Willis said that.
and that little hottie are
Who's the
so
hottie?
it's-
Little French hottie.
Little French hottie.
Yeah.
French hottie.
Whose motorcycle is this?
Who is
so
the
good.
French not famous. Not famous now. Just a French hottie from Pulp Fiction.
French hottie from
She
Pulp
would have been
Fiction.
famous in France at the time, I imagine.
Probably, but she was. Is she French?
Yeah, she's.
Anyway, very very good film. How are you, Alex?
Great.
What's been going on?
Tell us about life, love, the world.
Life, love the world. Oh, my rent was going up.
Yeah.
Look, let's keep the vibes up.
Oh, yeah.
But they've got, they're like putting up my rent, and that's just sent me spiraling. Because then I'm like, oh my God, I've just realized like I can't afford to live anymore.
Yeah.
And so
That's the
like,
world.
Isn't that the scariest feeling?
No, and something's like switched in my brain, and like I just used to go like day to day, week to week, month to month, like scrape through whatever. But like, and you have to, once you start living like that, you have to keep living like that, because what this rental increase has done has made me think like about the future. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think if I ever knew how much I spend on Uber Eats, if I ever got given the number in like a collected way. The other week, Uber told me, they were like, if you had used Uber One, you would have saved this amount of money. And I'm like, well, that's a tiny percentage of what I must be spending.
No.
Get Uber One because no, you're an Uber Eats boy.
Yeah.
You should get Uber Eats.
No, but
One.
I think my point is more, they were saying you could save this much. And I'm like, I think
I've spent that much.
I've spent that much. I've spent
No,
10
exactly. I'm
times
exactly
that
the
much.
same. Because, and this is the problem, they sell convenience as like, it's, you just need convenience. But when convenience, like our baseline of convenience has moved so far that like now, if you wanted to get dinner and you wanted to get takeaway and you called the restaurant and then had to go pick it up, it's like, what is this, an Amish community? Like, it's crazy. But then it's
Literally,
like, that's what it used to be.
I saw a thing recently where they were like, we all have butlers. We're like, we all have butlers and nannies, and like, but the butler is Uber Eats, is like tech.
Yeah.
I thought that's so interesting. It's funny how often we love to be like, revolution. I'm like, baby, you're the bourgeoisie.
Oh my God, get that on a shirt.
like,
Baby, you're the bourgeoisie.
no, but also like trying really hard to like. Because similarly, right, like I've moved out, so like my rent is crazy. I'm like, cool, I've got to start living within my means.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
can do it.
What's that mean?
Yeah, it's so annoying, right?
bitch?
But no, so this is a true story. This really did happen. 2 weekends ago, because I stopped getting takeaway coffees. I started making my own. It's so hard to be me. But I started making my own coffees from home. And I was like, you know what?
Sorry, but I just...
Wait, no, this is...
Very good.
Okay, I said this was a few weeks ago, right?
Okay,
Listen to me.
great. There's context.
Yeah.
So for the listener,
This
B, the guest producer, just as Mish was saying, I'm saving money.
Okay.
Talking about being just like very quietly pointed at a big cuppa.
And it's not even a small. Like she went all out. With the large.
You bought a coffee.
There's a
is the
reason for
point.
this as well. But give me a sec. So
Good,
But
good.
can I just quickly jump in? What home coffee are you making? How
French
are you doing
press.
it?
So like I got myself a little
Oh.
percolator boy, and then I just buy like ground beans. That's from like a small
Right.
company. Like I don't like I do good.
Okay.
But it lasts ages and it costs me like $20 and that $20 lasts me like a month, right? Anyway.
great.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay, that's amazing.
So I hadn't gotten a takeaway coffee for a long time, right? And 2 weeks ago I was like, you know what? It's a Sunday morning.
Right.
I don't have any plans. I'm going to go to, and I'll shout them out, Back Alley Bakes, which is the best. It's in Coburg. It's delicious. I'm going to get myself a coffee and a treat.
Yeah.
So I bought myself a coffee and I bought myself like a little scroll thing. And I was like, oh, I haven't done this in ages. Oh, it's so nice to treat myself. And I got home, I'm like, not really feeling like the scroll, and put it in my fridge. Then my life continued on. And 3 days later, I found the scroll in the fridge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it's hard as a rock. It's old. It's off. And I cried. I cried because I'm like, I just wasted money on a special treat and forgot it existed. And I cried in my kitchen over a hard scroll.
Oh, Mish.
I even tried to microwave it to make it better, but it just didn't work.
I've got to be.
And the reason
Yeah.
for this coffee...
Yeah, I've got to be honest with you. When you were like, please, let me tell my story. Beautiful story. But you framed it as though it would explain why you're sitting in front of a coffee after lying to
Yeah.
us.
So I made the decision then that I only get coffees now if I have like work in the morning or a podcast in the morning, whatever. Because then it just like, so tomorrow I'll make my own. Wednesday I'll make my own. Thursday I'll get a coffee because I have work in the morning. You know what I
And
mean?
then
Right,
isn't
good.
it, and it's a tax deduction in my mind.
Exactly.
Because you need the energy to work. That's I'm out here trying to claim everything.
But there is
I need to
nothing
get
more
better.
depressing than finding an old treat in your fridge.
So it makes me feel like I don't know you, because I just feel like who amongst my friends, who people I know and love would simply forget a treat. I'm like,
forgetting a treat is crazy.
I
Forgetting a
don't know.
treat is
I don't know what happened
crazy.
because
I could see myself forgetting a treat. If I didn't eat the treat in that moment, missing
I'm
the
like,
window.
why aren't you?
I think that's why I
To
cried. I
not
was so
eat the
disappointed.
treat in the moment, like that alone, I'm like,
Yeah, why'd you buy the
Spooky.
treat?
Because I was like, I'm going to have this later.
Where did you put the treat? Did you put it in the fridge?
in the fridge
behind something?
No, in its paper bag on top of the veggie crisper at the bottom. So it was at the bottom shelf, and I just didn't go into my fridge.
okay, so dinner time comes around.
yeah, I just open up, grab my leftovers.
Was it a pastry?
It was like a scroll.
And
Cinnamon?
was your intention
Yeah.
cinnamon? And was your intention to eat it later in the day?
Yeah,
Can I give my opinion, like for future? I think
Leave it
for
out.
future, leave it on the bench.
yeah, that was I'm a dumb bitch. I've had a lot on my mind.
I
And
just hope you
fair.
don't
So
reframe
fair.
that memory. I never called you a dumb bitch. You elaborated on my
I
statement.
emotionally kind of did, because I was like,
But you can.
but and that's out of shock, you know. And that says more about me, because I'm like, how are you not eating the treat? That's actually about me and not about you.
Now all I'm thinking of is how good a little coffee scroll would be right now.
oh, little treats.
I never fuck with a cinnamon scroll.
Really?
really?
The bit of icing. Oh, I can get behind a
Yeah.
cinnamon
I don't know
scroll.
why. No, this is only, and this is crazy to say off the back of I can't afford my life, but when we used to go to Canada. Yeah, I've got skis that are locked up underneath my dad's penthouse in Canada, but I can't get to them. Okay. No, and like it's not even poor little rich girl. It's like I don't get money anymore. It's actually, and I don't know which camera's on me, but it's sad. I'm barreling a camera. It's sad. Anyway, that's the only time I've had cinnamon scrolls and fucked with it and been like, oh, it's nice in the snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when there's no snow, there's no cinnamon.
So you're from a skiing family?
So I didn't know that was weird.
Yeah, no.
So
Can I say?
I used to ski. Yes, please.
No, you go. You
No,
go.
I was going to say I was like that close to getting my ski instructor thing. Like it would have been one more season, but yeah, Dad doesn't take us anymore.
No, because you do this amazing bit about how you were rich and then you became poor and how hard that is. The funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, by the way. I was on the floor.
it's actually a tragedy, but sure.
honey, I can relate, but in a different way because I was told we were poor. because I went to an all-girls private school and I was told, like, we are poor.
Yeah.
And at that school, I was the poor kid.
Yes.
Like, amongst my friends, all my friends got a car for their 18th, but not me. And that made me poor. And then when I was released into the big wide world, I was like, I'm poor. And everyone was like, immediately go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Immediately go fuck yourself.
No.
Yeah.
But it's bananas because it's the only thing you know. Like, that's your baseline. That's what you know. That's what you're surrounded with. And when you're a kid or like growing up, like, you have no concept, you know? It's like there's no concept.
See, that's so funny because I went to the Catholic school in an area that's not particularly well off. So I always grew up thinking, you know, I'm middle class. I'm like, I was always like, oh no, I wear a blazer to school. I'm middle class.
I'm rich.
like, yeah. I must not acknowledge my privilege. And then I went and worked somewhere in the southeast of Melbourne, like near Chapel Street. And I was just like, oh, you call yourself middle class? Just as like,
this is middle class?
Just this fucking Hitler youth in a fucking puffy vest being like, yeah, I'm middle class. I'm like, oh, okay. This is a much broader category than I realized.
Yep.
And then, but then I was like, well, I'm like chubby comedy Billy Elliot. Yeah. I grew up in coal mining country. And then I went back home over Christmas and I caught up with some friends and I was telling them, I'm like, you know, I've got a really different perspective to some people from the city because we grew up. And then my friend was like, don't make our place your story. He was like the opposite. You had a nice house. I always remember you having a nice house. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like Eliza Doolittle. That's who I am.
What's a gal got to do to be disenfranchised around here? You know what I mean?
No, but there were things at my, like, it's what you saying about you didn't realise skiing was weird. It was similar. At my school, there were ski excursions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, you could be part of the skiing club. And I didn't realise I wasn't a part of it. Like, I wasn't a skiing kid. But, like, it was quite an elite thing to do. And I remember when the Deb was coming around. Did you ever do the Deb?
What's the
Like the Debutante?
No. No, see, in my school, they were like trying to be feminist and they're like, we're getting rid of all these things. And
All-girls
we're
school?
making women of the future.
All girls school feminist.
Yeah.
Great. Right.
No.
Note that. Lock that in.
Ridiculous.
Noted. Anyway, carry
No,
on.
but they were like, we're doing feminism, like women are more than just cooking and cleaning and then so they got rid of home ec and had tech instead, like IT instead. So we didn't have
Instead
home ec.
of, wow, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like we're making women of the future. But I'm like, sorry, bitch, now I don't know how to cook or clean or look after myself.
There's only one way to get that ring there.
Okay, and it also turns out like I'm actually poor now, so I'm like, okay, can't cook, can't clean, doesn't have any money. It would have been quite feminist of you to equip me with skills.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't even remember where that's coming from.
Don't even get me started. I do love an all-girls school being like, I'm not actually. It's like, we are feminists here. You are fundamentally different from the boys you cannot talk to. if they were near you, you would do badly at school.
Yeah.
But we're feminists here. You are prime ministers of the future, but if you go near a boy, you'll fucking fail at school.
It was exactly that. And it was also like, we're feminists here, but don't take a girl to the formal with you because that's lesbian shit.
That happened. We don't want any of that gay shit up in this school.
Oh, not that kind of feminist.
Yeah. No.
That happened to us in year 12. A friend of mine wanted to take her girlfriend and was told she couldn't.
Yes.
And then we all signed something that was like, no, you should. And then it was like, this whole thing happened. And then finally it was like, you know what? She can bring her girlfriend. And my friend was like, we broke up last week, so it's
That's
fine.
amazing.
Anyway, we had a Deb at my school in year 10. So this is a debutante.
Different to a formal.
No, it's a debutante. So they're like such an old school tradition. It's essentially it's when a woman has gotten her period or a girl has gotten her period, she can now be presented and she is ready to come out into the world and become a married
It's an
woman.
old English tradition.
That is what a debutante is, but now it's kind of changed.
I think it was like back in like Elizabethan, Victorian times. It was like
They have an episode on the OC about it.
Oh, is it in year 7?
I know
think
what
so,
a
yeah.
debutante ball
That's what
is,
yeah.
but I just never knew it was like after, like once you get a period, you can get married.
I never heard that.
Traditionally,
I
it's,
thought it was about entering society.
it is, but it's like when you've become a woman.
Yes,
So,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
at the age of you're able to have children. You can bear children.
Yeah.
It's so that's
Find
what
yourself a
traditionally.
husband.
Stop. So this is so embarrassing, and I'm almost like, don't record this. So when you have your period,
Just, it's a lot of
I've
work
had
for
one. I
Tommy.
can tell you all about it.
does that mean like when you get your period for the first time, does that actually mean that you can have a child at that age?
Yes.
Yes.
So a period
Are
means that you
you
ovulate.
fucking
Did you
kidding
have
me?
any sex education at school?
Well, again,
No, that was a feminist all-girls school.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear a funny story?
Feminists don't tell other women the importance of,
Do you want to hear a funny
sexual
story?
healthcare.
No.
My main sex education, I went to a Catholic school. My main sex education was taught to me by a nun, which I think is so funny.
Yikes.
Yeah, nun. And then I still remember it was one class once, but it just like pops up in my brain every now and then. And the first thing was like 10 years ago, I was like, that's funny that it was a nun.
Yeah.
Because before that, I was always like, they did talk about safe sex. They were like, it's not safe sex, it's safer sex. But if you're going to do it, use a condom. And I was always like, oh, that's admirable. They're at least telling us that. But then the first thing I thought was like, A, they didn't tell us how to use a condom. B, I was like, that was a nun. And then the other day I remembered she like told us all about like late term abortion in really vivid details. And she may have even shown us photos. But the whole thing was, that wasn't part of the class. We asked her. Like, I remember it being like, we were like, but what is like... We were curious, and it was like and she was like, oh, I shouldn't tell you about this. I shouldn't show you. And I was always like,
she
oh, we
had
push
the
for it. But
pics.
I'm like, but she had the fucking pictures on her laptop. She had the pictures on her laptop.
She was ready for curious teens.
Yeah, she would have, and I'm like, it just hit me like last week. I was like, she would have had this thing where she would have mentioned it a couple of times. We would have asked, and then she would have been like, I shouldn't show you, but.
No, I'm like, who
Wild.
brought it up? Because this is what I think. I reckon the nun's given some money to to the little, like as a plant to one of the students, given some money to make them bring up late term abortion so she can show it all.
I reckon
Isn't
she
that
went
wild?
to Goliath. She knew how to manipulate children.
We'll go to an ad break really quickly. We'll come back and I want to talk about periods and sex education.
And Deb.
more.
We
And
never
Deb.
got to
Oh,
Deb.
sorry, yeah.
Welcome back. So I need to sneeze.
The way you,
Yeah, I was like, we
bring
came back from an ad.
yes, to
You had the
bring back-
perfect window. You had the perfect
so
window
sorry.
to sneeze. Let's cut to an ad break. Okay, we're
And-
back,
and
and
you-
I need to sneeze.
and you were the one who brought it back as well. I'm
such a fuck. All right, so
that.
very quickly with we had a nun. We hired a nun to come in and do our sex education.
Yeah.
It was for one afternoon. You didn't have to go, and she lay out a bunch of like wooden penises, but they weren't penises. They were just like wooden cylindrical kind of things and condoms, and told us how to put them on, but refused to touch them.
We
But
never
told
got
us.
shown a condom. Never got shown a condom.
Was it
never
a
got
Catholic school?
Put on anything. No, Presbyterian.
Like Brisbane.
No, same as my school.
Brisbane, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Brizzy.
who knows? Maybe we didn't have condoms there.
So the Deb thing, right?
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
No, so it was in year 10 and so many of my friends were doing the Deb. You essentially put your 15-year-old in a white wedding dress. It looks like a wedding dress, these white dresses. They present themselves, they bring in they have a partner with them, and most of them just brought 15-year-old boys from the like neighboring boys' school. And they all just look so awkward in like a suit that's like one to two sizes too big and stuff like that.
So funny.
And then they just like, you walk around in a circle, you do a dance, and then you present yourselves and like whatever. It's so strange.
Did you do it?
No.
yeah.
I asked, a lot of my friends were doing it. I wanted the dress. I wanted I like to be looked at. I was just like, I want to do this. I went to my mum like, Mum, like it's compulsory. We have to do the Deb. And she was like, you're not doing the Deb. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, that's
and I remember it so clearly. I cracked it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is bullshit. I'm so sick of being poor. Oh. And Mum's like, it has nothing to do with being poor. I'm not presenting you to a bunch of 15-year-old boys as a woman who's ready and buying you a ridiculously expensive white dress. And I was so pissed off, and I went and watched the Deb that my friends were being part of. It's not like everyone was. There was only like 20 girls or something.
Yeah.
No, but it would have felt like moment.
At the time, I was like, I can't believe my mum won't let me do this. She's
that's
I think I called her a bitch, and then that wouldn't have gone down well.
No.
And I was so upset. I cried in my, like, literally like hugging my pillow in bed, like weeping, because I was just so embarrassed that my mum wouldn't let me do the Deb. And now I think back, I'm like, of course she didn't let me do the Deb. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
You should call her up and say now, go, Mum, I had a realisation. You sending me to an all-girls school is as outdated as not as letting me do the Deb.
Yeah. If you're going to put me in there, let me partake in them activities, man.
Yeah.
You've put me in the environment and then denied
Just
me.
to ostracize
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Buy me a car. Let me do the Deb. This is what you've taught me.
I did the
Truly.
Deb. I did the Deb.
What? Why's everyone got these?
I love the Deb.
We can do
I
a
was
Deb if
all
you'd
for
like.
the Deb. I did it with my friend Elise, and we did the Deb. And I can't remember the theme the year that I did the Deb. I know that. So they have because it's very similar to weddings. It feels like it's in that same sort of circle.
Yeah.
Because
White dresses.
The white dresses is virginal,
bizarre.
I think. But it's about, you're ready now to go to the dances, go to the balls, go to all these things, right? That's the vibe of it. But it's so funny because all that stuff is gone, but the Deb remains. But I remember I was a page boy, I think, or something of that ilk. So they have, similar to a wedding, like a young boy. This was for my older brother's one. Maybe I think my brother's one. They have young boys that carry something at the start before everyone is presented.
It's like a corsage or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with this. There's theatre. There's
it is
roles.
It's very camp, really.
No, I was maybe camp, but I think there's a confidence in camp. 15-year-olds don't have that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And 15-year-olds in the country at Kernot Hall.
I mean, that is camp.
And it was so basically the way it works is everyone gathers, the family gathers, they're eating party pies and chicken strips or whatever the fuck finger food. And every Deb had a theme, whatever movie the kids are watching, So in 1998, my sister or brother's Deb, it was Titanic. And so one of the mums painted a big giant mural of the Titanic.
We didn't have themes, but I'm obsessed with it.
Country Debs
I'm
are a whole
this
different
is
thing.
crazy. A theme over the top of everything else you're saying, and then there's a theme.
Yeah, and then a theme, kind of like a formal. And then all the girls pick their own white dresses, but the boys all rent from the same store. So we're all in uniform. So we get these little boxy shoes and white gloves. Boys
white
wear
gloves,
white gloves. And then the night starts. I think something happens, and then the night starts with all of the girls being presented and their partner, right? So they come down the stairs, walk to the front, and it's Ms. Mish Wittrup, and here accompanied by Zachary Ruane, and then we walk to the front and then walk back, and each person would enter that way, and you got to pick one sentence to describe you. Ms. Wittrup and you're allowed to do funny so long as it wasn't rude. I'm sure I did something funny.
You would have done something hilarious.
But witty as well.
Oh, yeah.
The jocks wouldn't have
Just in the pocket.
Probably a reference to Donnie Darko.
Something in motion. There's
Something
still
sick and
waters
twisted.
run
At
deep,
my
bitch.
school, we did all of that. So all the and then at the end, when the dance had been done and the surf.
Well, I'm just sort of breaking down the whole thing. So the dances, right? This is the layer that people probably don't know. Is this your one, B, or is this a picture?
This is just a picture to show.
So I have
Alex.
seen, there is something that I will send to you guys. It's an ABC special story on a woman who plans debutantes, and it's like a Chris Lilly character, but she's real. And in that way, I have been familiarised with the behind the scenes of a Deb, but I don't know this level of stuff, and I find
wild.
it really
Crazy.
fascinating.
So the next layer is
It looks like very culty. It's very strange.
I'm like,
yeah.
I
the next
must have
layer
a
is
party like
dancing,
this.
right? So there's a big dance with it'll be like a foxtrot, and you learn you do every Tuesday night for months beforehand. You do these classes where you learn these dances.
I feel like I really missed out.
On a Tuesday from 4 till 6.
Yeah, you're doing
Yeah.
these dances after school. And so you're dancing with your partner, but there's also partner swapping. It's like old
Very
school.
Meet Me in St. Louis kind of dance style. Yeah.
Very Victorian, Mr.
Bridgerton.
Darcy,
Like
Bridgerton
Swan
shit.
Princess.
But imagine boys with little scruffy mustaches, like bum flap.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Voices breaking.
Yeah.
Also,
Rick and Morty socks.
Yeah, love that.
everyone does their dance, right? There's the nice dances, and then I don't know if you did this, but with our one, then the girls did a dance, and that was more fun. So it might be to like a Britney Spears song.
Yeah, like Pussycat Dolls or something.
Yeah, Pussycat Dolls, or I reckon there would be a bit of Chapel Roan happening now.
Yeah, back in it was like Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
love.
the boys would do a fun dance. It's a little bit silly, you know. They wouldn't
Come
make
on,
us do anything
boys.
gay or anything.
Yeah, no.
I don't remember what I did at my Deb, but I was the page boy. So I was the one that walked at the front of everyone for my older brother's one. And we did Men in Black. All the boys did Men in Black. And we took off our gloves so that, because we'd do a spin and they were like, I remember they were like, oh, the clap isn't working with the gloves. And there was this whole like, what are we going to do with the clap? And then we decided to take off the gloves. And I still have this vivid memory.
Is that the age that you were?
Yeah, I was a little,
like a tiny little guy.
little 10-year-old boy. It was my older brother, like looking all gangly. All these gangly late 90s boys in these suits that were all ill-fitting because they weren't tailored. And then on either side were two little boys. I was one, and there was another little boy doing Men in Black by Will Smith. And that was, I think, the peak.
You got the routine still? Do you reckon you still got the routine?
All I remember is, which is funny because I don't really remember dance moves, but I do remember spin, 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 clap.
Yeah.
That's all I remember is we would spin and move, like spin and move, clap, spin and move, clap.
Yeah, it's a lot of that.
And you're doing that section where it's like, now bounce with me, now bounce. You know where it's like the bit of the song where they're talking about the choreo?
Now move.
Now move.
Yeah, I think there was a slide.
Yeah.
I remember a slide, but also it probably wasn't the whole song, and they would have just like turned the volume down.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm sure there would be a VHS
It's pretty much
somewhere.
exactly the same.
So
as
what
well.
was yours? Yeah, was that
Pretty
your
much
one?
exactly the same, but we did the nut bush at the end as well.
Ah, beautiful.
And then at the end as well, the dads could dance with their daughters.
Yeah,
so there
nice.
was that like a daddy-daughter dance. So they would get up and they'd be like, I'm so proud of you for being a girl.
Right.
For getting that period, babe. Like,
What's the energy like? Because at a mixed gender, I remember the after party was wild. I just
there
remember
would
the
have been-
after party. My God.
I
You
reckon
10?
I reckon
I'm
there would have
imagining
been-
you just racking it up at 10.
There was like a cask of cowboy shots. Someone had a cask of cowboy shots, and when the projectile vomit was just awful.
There would have been at the end, I reckon, someone snuck in some cruises, and then the girls probably would. I didn't, because I wasn't in the depth. I felt very left out.
Aw.
I know,
Yeah.
it's fine. But easily of the 20 girls, 3 or 4 of them got fingered for the first time after.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
our one. Was a lot of
Because the
like,
sexual, because
Gloves
with
or no
all girls
gloves?
school, you get this.
Gloves or no gloves?
Yeah, well, that's the question, isn't it? All girls school, this is like some of the first time some of these girls have interacted with a boy.
Yeah.
Right? And the sexual tension amongst these 15 and 16-year-olds would have been absolutely off the chain.
those dance classes would have just been like.
Oh, we did prac dancing, which is in year 9, which was like for one term where you could kind of learn a dance with like the neighbouring boys' school. And it was just the most awkward thing in the world
So
because
funny.
no one knew. And the first, oh my God, I remember this. Oh, so the boys and the girls, this is prac dancing. It's a completely different thing. This was just like a fun extracurricular thing that you could do where you'd learn how to do like, a box step with a guy. And the teacher who was teaching us goes, okay, so boys, step forward and pick your girl. Sorry.
No.
I know. And then the next week it's like, don't worry, girls, next week you get to pick. But the boys then came forward one by one and selected a girl.
Yeah, I'm like,
my
as if we're going to
gosh.
see next week. I'm
And
going home to kill myself.
100%. I'm like, well, I'm not going to be here after this because this is traumatizing for me. And like, I just remember that so clearly, like the guys
This is-
coming forward and picking.
my
And I remember
God.
like, it was just horrific. Yeah. And then like, it was just a lot of like standing really far away from each other. But then flash forward 6 weeks when prac dancing ended and everyone was getting fingered or like getting like little
This
30
is what
second
I
hand
had a
jobs and stuff.
realization. 'cause
Where?
my mum,
At school?
No, afterwards. A girl lost her virginity in the school toilets. Yeah. I know, that was scandalous.
I'm like, that is.
Yeah, that is scandalous.
Scandalous.
At any
That is
school.
crazy.
Yeah. God, I haven't
Scandalous.
thought about prac dancing in a while.
Because of prac dancing, like they snuck off.
Yeah, the two of them.
She really must be able to do.
She was a fucking
land that
legend, actually. She was
plane
really
at
cool. She
school.
was like a really
Yeah,
cool
clearly.
chick. Yeah. She was cool, man.
Where is she
agree.
now? I want to meet her.
That's so funny. No, because that's a layer, I think, for Deb. Like, for me, it went to a mixed school. Deb's sort of, when you think about it, are so strange. They're presenting you to a society that no
Yeah.
longer exists. It was with people we had classes with. Like, when you actually think about it, the whole point of those things were like, here's women that have just been like with their sisters and mothers and like learning how to cook and clean, and now suddenly they're being presented so they can mix with boys now and all of that. So for me, Debs made no sense, but I hear this, and I go, actually, if you're going to an all-girls school, the Deb would have had the energy of an old school Deb. It would have actually been like, now I will meet boys.
Yeah, no, but truly. And there were a couple of like high school relationships that started because of the Deb. And like, it's wild. It was wild. A wild time to be alive was in 2000.
You didn't miss anything. Deb, I was like, that was funny. And then I also remember I did Schoolies.
Oh.
And I was
my
like,
God,
what
you
a
have to do
waste of money.
Schoolies.
No,
Where did you do
I hated
school? Where did you do Schoolies?
Well, because I went to school
Busy.
in Brisbane, you have to do Schoolies on the Gold Coast.
How was Schoolies on the Gold
Surf is
Coast for you?
paradise.
Was it crazy?
Yeah. I remember somebody like, we were in, okay, so it's all, oh my God, it's all about like where you're staying at Schoolies in Surfers, like what hotel are you in? Like we were in the Crown Towers.
Oh my God.
She is a skiing
And
girl.
so it was like, no, it was like, and oh my God, I remember like somebody left paper towel on the stove and tried to cook 2-minute noodles and lit the paper towel on fire.
That's so
But
funny.
like the main thing of school is like, okay, the red frogs would go around. Did you guys have red frogs? What happens
no, I
in
know
schoolies
about-
in Victoria?
Well, a lot of Victorians go up to
Byron, do
surfers,
they, or where?
But I did Schoolies at Torquay.
I did Lawn, which is next door.
Oh, so yeah. So we're like, so surfers, wait, this is crazy.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
thought about this in so long. So yeah, we had a surfers paradise and you like go down to the beach on the day. It's like when you watch movies about like spring break or like even just like Miami in general, and everyone's like partying on the beach or whatever. Like there were these big stages that were set up on the beach, and you go down and like party on the beach, get drunk in your hotel room. I can't, to this day cannot. If I have anything with a lick of tequila in it, I cannot drink it because of Schoolies. Tequila Tuesday. Oh, yeah, it's like a blur, but I do really remember. Did you guys have tits out for the boys? Was that happening here?
No.
I remember the saying.
The chant.
The
I remember the
chant.
chant.
Out
Yeah.
for the boys. Tits out for the boys.
Yeah.
And then someone tried to reappropriate it to dicks out for the chicks, but like dicks were already out anyway, so it like didn't work. And then it's like,
And also, like, if you show your tits, like 18, 19, 20-year-old boys are going to be like, fucking sick. If you show your dick to 18, 19, 20-year-old, it's like, don't do that.
well, it's jail time.
Yeah.
It's actually
like
jail time.
Dicks out for the chicks. Okay. Thanks for that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then there were like Tulies. Did you guys have Tulies as
Yeah,
well?
yeah.
Because there's so many
Do you
clubs.
want to know the best story
Yeah,
I
go,
have?
go.
Is I was at a party and I don't know if I should say their name because I think even now it's scandalous. They would have been in their early 20s, but a professional AFL footballer was at the party. And I remember just being like, and this was before we all had like cameras on our phones.
Wait, how old are you? Are you like 18?
I'm 18.
Okay, yeah.
And it's a party. It's a party.
it's a Schoolies party.
It's a Schoolies party. It wasn't like as an official Schoolies party, but it was part of Schoolies. And there was a famous AFL football player in his early 20s there. And I was like, if I got this photo, I'm not going to do it because it's immoral, but if I got this photo, I would make so much money from the Herald Sun. That would be... And I remember just the whole party. Other people were off hooking up, doing tits out for the boys or whatever. And I was just like, imagine. how much we would make.
Tulies is such an embarrassing thing. If people don't know what a Tulie is, it's someone who goes and attends Schoolies parties even though it's not their final year of high school.
Schoolies,
you-
you should explain, is people graduating from high school.
And are you 18?
It's like summer break.
Are you 18 in Victoria?
Yes.
So in Queensland, you're 17. So all of us
Shit.
are underage, just getting shit-faced in hotels.
Wow.
That's wild.
Schoolies are extra.
So Schoolies for me was we went to Lorne. It was a friend's beach house and we all stayed in this house and literally next door a bunch of our mates from the neighbouring boys' school were at that. So we kind of like were on it together.
And then you did a debutante dance.
Yeah, then we did our debutante dance. And a how do you do? No, and then you know how you said your drink of choice at Schoolies was tequila, and now that's Jägermeister was mine.
Oh, yeah.
So the taste of Jaeger, I drank a bottle of Jägermeister one night and woke up on a beach and was just like, I don't, and then got driven home in the back of a Dibby van. So that was my big Schoolies story.
Wait, Dibby van, what's that?
a police car.
You've never heard the term
Yeah.
Dibby van?
I've never heard it.
I was crying
Is it
and lost on a beach.
Victorian thing?
Going home in the back of a Dibby van.
Paddy wagon.
Yeah, a paddy wagon. I was drunk on a beach and was just like, I don't know where I am at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And a Dibby van drove past and was like, are you all right? And I'm like, I'm lost. And I think I was puking or something. I don't know. I was so drunk. And they put me in the back and I started crying going, please don't take me home. I live in Melbourne and I don't know what's going on. And then they just drove me up to the top of the hill lawn and dropped me off at the house. And all my mates were on this big balcony out the front and I got out of the back of a Dibby van. It was very full on. But I was also in love with a boy who was dating a girl.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm always in love with a boy. But I was in love with a boy that was staying at the house next door. And it's one of those like, fuck, I probably missed out on some fun Schoolies opportunities because I was just like, for this boy that didn't know I
Truly.
existed.
No, and I mean, isn't that life? It's like,
Literally.
I remember we went grocery shopping at the start of the week. The 2-minute noodles evoked something for me, which is we went grocery shopping at the start of the week and just like bought like the most disgusting shit because none of us knew how to cook,
Yeah.
right? So, and I remember I got like a whole tub of like fancy ice cream and I think I ate that.
Like, what's fancy ice cream? Like
Haagen-Dazs.
Neapolitan or like Ben and Jerry's?
It was
Like-
like, this was before Ben and Jerry's existed. It was like, it was this like rectangular clear plastic tub and like lots of like different caramel swirls and
yum.
flavors.
Wow.
And I remember I was like, this is going to be so great. And then I would have made like some disgusting like 2-minute noodles for dinner and then I ate a whole bunch of ice cream and then I got wasted. And I still remember the vomit being like sweet and creamy. I
Comes out
also
easy.
remember we thought it would be funny to buy a porno. So we bought a porno.
Which is
Like a DVD?
Yeah, like
Or
a
like a
DVD
magazine?
porno.
Okay.
Went to an adult shop, bought a DVD porno. And
so
I
you're
remember
18,
we
you
all
could
sat around. It was a mixed household.
all sat around and watched porn.
And we thought it'd be so funny. We were like, oh, this will be so funny. And we just sat there. And the porn went for like an hour and a half. And it just was so boring.
Wait, was it like a horny vibe? Like were people like getting a bit, like,
Maybe there was horniness, but I think it was like the mix of people was really interesting. It was a mixed group. There was a couple. I don't think anyone
Mum was there.
I don't think anyone in that group was going to hook up. It was like friends. So like it wasn't like so the intention was for it to be funny. Like how funny is it that we're watching porno? And then we were just sitting there just like, and like, you know, like that kind of porn, that DVD porn,
Yeah.
like it's so performative. Like
Yeah.
I feel like we're much more used to gonzo porn now where there's an element of,
Campness.
maybe more truth.
Yeah.
Like even if it's like performative, they're acknowledging it. Whereas this is just like, you know, that bolt-on titties, like just like two women,
Hey.
like lesbian porn, where like there's no one is feeling any pleasure at all. Like they're just like doing
Yeah.
lesbian things, but for no one. And you're just sitting there with your friends, like,
I've never understood like watching porn with your friends. I've never understood that.
No,
like
it's-
what's the
You've done
We've
it?
talked. No. We've talked about it on the pod before, but it was one of those things that blew my mind. Having grown up in an all-women household, going to an all-girls school, I found out when I was in my early 20s. A friend of mine told me that back in high school, there was a porn VHS tape that his group of mates would hand around to each other. So one would have it for a week,
Oh, it's
then
like
they'd give it.
Sisterhood of the Traveling
And I was
Pants.
just like,
We had a floppy disk.
yeah, but I was like, that's not a thing. And he's like, no, it is a thing. And then I asked around, and it's like, no, apparently in the noughties, that's what guys did. They handed around like porns, so they'd share porn. I'm like, that's wild. That's wild that you're just like, hey man, I jerked off to this last night. Now it's your turn.
But what else
I'm
do you
like-
do? Yeah.
I kind of get that.
That's like community.
I
It's
get that.
community
I'm like,
driven.
to be like, yeah, what about when she, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, and the bit where he like, da, 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 oh my God, like, you know, I get that.
Yeah, but I just
be sitting in the room
Yeah.
to make it's a private moment, so public for an hour.
Yeah,
It was so funny.
I just think porn is such a private thing. Like what people like to watch, like porn wise, feels to me very private.
But this is coming from a time now where it's all on the internet, like anyone can find it.
Yeah,
Like back then, it was a rarefied thing. It was illegal to buy it. So, you know,
It's
you had
illegal to buy it?
when you're under 18, it's illegal to buy porn. So you've got to share it with your friends because it's like if one person, you know, it's like a
That's actually community.
yeah. It's like I've got my hands on some porno. If I don't share this, then then the next guy that gets his hands on some porno isn't going to get it to me. You got
Yeah.
to get in that. You got to get in that silk road.
Were you guys doing that a lot at your school?
Yeah, we shared. Like I remember we had a floppy disk that you'd like, and it's so funny because you think back, like what fits on a floppy disk? It would
my
have been
God,
a few really
obsessed with
pixely
It's also
pictures.
so funny to put porn on a floppy disk. I think
Yeah.
that's just like
porn
beautiful.
pictures, and you'd be like, put it on a floppy disk, and then you'd like put it on your file, and then.
It's
Yeah.
so funny. A floppy disk to make you all hard. That's really funny. That's so funny.
And like
funny.
we also would like share things about because back then you'd download porn because you couldn't. There was streaming wasn't good enough.
Napstar.
Yeah, you'd have to download it, and even pictures you'd like copy it down.
LimeWire,
because it's
LimeWire.
So we would like share advice on like where to hide it. Like we would all like so every household computer in 2002. In like, you know, all those like folders like deep in the,
Yeah.
you know, you would have
yeah.
like 7 folders there. It'd be like, this would be like admin, da-da-da, just like all, you'd call it like pick 1792. You'd go like so, you'd be like pick like 1792 admin coding file 2. And then like you'd make multiple folders in and then deep down in there would be your porno. Like you'd hide it in your computer, in your desktop.
Well, does that mean that if it was on like was it on the family
Like a
computer?
share, yeah.
Oh, like
yeah, because you only had a family computer. Like
So
this
you're
is back
just
in the day
creeping
where there
around.
was one computer. Internet was like if someone was on the phone, you couldn't use internet. It
Yeah.
was so slow, you couldn't get video. Like so you had to like download a picture, and it would take a long time to load.
See, I was shy even like getting my Sims to woohoo like on the family computer. I don't know if I would have ever been brave enough to do like full on porn. on the
when
computer.
I realised
to do what you had to do, you know.
that Sims woohooed. Yeah, I just my Sims
You make do.
my Sims woohooed constantly. That's why I got Sims. I made really hot Sims with huge tits and just made them
Did you
woohoo.
ever figure out the code to get rid of the blur?
No.
So there was
What?
a code you could get rid of the Sims blur when they woohooed.
And so you could see the
Is
But you would just see
That's them
like,
fucking-
there's no actual sets there.
yeah, it would
Yeah.
just be like them going, ah.
Yeah, like just 2 Sims like moving near
Yeah,
each
no,
other.
but that would have made me hard back
Do you
then.
know what used to make me so horny on the computer? Is Jeff Goldblum in the Goosebumps game when he's a Dracula and Jeff Goldblum in the Goosebumps game?
No, I don't remember this at all.
Oh my God, why
but
is
that
this ringing a
like-
bell?
Wait, have
Why-
I said this before?
No,
why
Jeff
did-
Goldblum makes
Jeff
a lot of sense.
Goldblum in the Goosebumps game, and sometimes
This is really ringing a
Where in
bell
the
for
world
me.
is Carmen Sandiego? Sometimes she just made it like
Yeah,
tickle
she's
a little
horny.
bit.
She's-
But my brother's Lara
Oh
Croft
my
game.
Lord.
Yeah, so there's
Oh, that's your Meatloaf in Rocky Horror. That's my sexual awakening.
So there's a scene in this Goosebumps game where your
That's great.
POV, you're playing as this like young, like, I don't know, 12-year-old, 13-year-old girl, something. I don't know. Anyway, she gets into the castle and he's not seducing her. He's just like, oh, you know, you made it. And he's like dancing with her, like probably like the daddy-daughter dance in a debutante, really.
yeah.
And he's like dancing with her, but just like his voice and the way he speaks.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
like,
Goldblum,
and
yeah.
and he's got like a cape.
There's something about
like-
Jeff Goldblum that every once, because he's so funny and so charismatic or whatever, and then he'll just do something and all of a sudden you just go, oh, hello, like you're
No.
hot. There's this scene, I'm not going to remember it at all, but there's a scene in a movie where there's a woman sitting on a piano and he's just having a laugh and he's like, ha, 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 and she's sitting on the piano, they're having a laugh, whatever. And then he goes up, someone please remind me what the movie is, but he grabs her legs and pulls her towards him. And it's just like you're going from laughing, going, he's such a character. But oh my God. That's so, he's very horny.
He's and he's like really like, oh God, not to get into it. But like,
did you ever see that interview that he did with that reporter during a fashion show? And she's just like, you nearly walked past me, you nearly ignored me. And he's like, well, we can't have that. And they have this like exchange for like, I'll send it to you, Alex. It's the hottest thing I've ever seen. It's really hot.
Not
so
me
hot.
flying to America right now just to stand outside his house and go, Jeff, you nearly ignored me.
Well, I feel like it's worth because we're banking a lot. So what's something cool you watch this week? We're watching not much. So
we'll just
move on.
Yeah, let's
move on.
Yeah.
Sorry, just a little peek behind the curtain there. This is the end of this episode, dear friend.
Okay, darling.
Where can people find you if they...
Yes, find me online. I my Instagram.
Yeah.
Alex.Hines. I think there's 3 underscores under that, but just Alex Hines, Hines. I'm on TikTok as well when I'm quite unwell on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's sporadic, harder to find. You'll have to look me up. I have a website, but apparently when you type in Alex Hines, it's like Alex Hines. I don't know. Yeah, try it be. But when you type it in, it's like got a warning on it.
Oh, Jesus.
Like it's like, oh, this is not safe.
Do you are you doing festival season next year?
Yes.
I
but
will
don't know details.
say now to everybody, highly recommend going to see Alex live.
Yeah.
Alex
Please.
live is a
Yeah.
full experience.
I'm
It
much
is-
better live.
But no, you're good. Like you're phenomenal either way. But
Sure.
Alex live is a full
Better
experience.
live.
You have to go. If
Call your
Alex
show
is-
Alex Live.
Alex live.
With like lights.
I think I'm going to call my show, I was just going to call it Yikes.
That's good.
yeah, that's great.
That's what I thought. And then my boyfriend was like, that's so basic. And to which I said, Yikes.
I know what my show's going to be called now as well.
What?
So I think I can say it now because this is coming out. So
Wow,
no,
just-
it's different to what you thought. Like what I told you.
No, but also the guy I was gonna say mine, and I'm like, I don't know when things are being announced and when
I
this is
don't,
coming out.
I don't know what. Okay, so ignore what I said.
Wait, you could also do alts. So say like Tom edit it out. Like you can plug it if you want. And then-
We'll get to it.
Yeah, let it be like,
We'll get to it.
just know that we've named our shows.
Just know,
Yeah.
just the fans just need to know there's one ticket that they need. In 2026, there's one ticket you ought to be buying, and it's to my show.
Right.
You should.
Whatever it's called.
No, do for real. I remember talking to you this year, maybe 2 months less before the festival, and you were like, "Oh, I don't know," for various reasons.
For various
which is too much to get into at the end of a podcast. But you were like, I don't know if I'm even going to do a show. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And then I went and saw your show like a month and a half later, and you had the most elaborate props and costumes.
Yeah.
The most like fully realized concept of a show I've ever seen in my life. Like, did you do this in a weekend?
No, but
I
when
did it
this
in
happen?
a month. Yeah.
No, but you're
Insane.
insanely hardworking. You're so good.
So good.
So everyone go and see Alex. What are we watching for our Leguizamo Rama? We're in our top 8 and we're up to number 4.
Is this number 4?
This is number 4.
Number 4, top 8. Number 4 is
halfway.
halfway.
Maths.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Let's do a drum roll. Number 4 is Captain Vegetable, the Sesame Street segment. Just Google Captain Vegetable, John Leguizamo. It's a YouTube video, and we'll be talking all about it on Thursday. Would you like to stick around?
I would love to.
B, would you like to stick around?
Yes, please.
Great. We'll see you all then.
Bye.
The Mish and Zach podcast is recorded on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We believe that our collective culture will never reach its full potential until we embrace the history and the truth of the oldest cultures of this land.